Hi, how are you doing? Hope you are well and safe and having a great day. I'm having a great day as always. It's a bit wet and windy out there, raining and a bit grim and grey, but it's nice and toasty in here, so I'm a happy bunny. I thought I really enjoyed the paint in the snow last week, so I thought I'd give it another go. And in this time, I'm using Rebelle watercolours, and this is all about using gradients to get the initial washes on to set the mood of the painting. So let's get straight into it. So it's not snowing this week, but I really enjoyed doing the snow scene, so I thought I'd do another one. I'm going to go to Window and look for reference image, or you can press Ctrl R, and I am going to drag the image in that I am going to paint. I'll bring Explorer over here so you can see how easy this is. Just drag that across, and there we go. I've now got my reference image. I really like this. Is a photo I took last year actually. Never got around to painting it, so I thought I would do that today. I'm in Rebelle, obviously. Let's just shrink this down to size a bit. Shrink this down a little bit. I kind of want to work a bit bigger. I'm using A4 size paper with the default aquarelle texture on here, and let's sketch it in. I'm going to move the horizon line a little bit. What have we got in the way of pencils? Like when I sketch, like regular sketching, I use a 6B. Let's try a 4B. I'm going to move everything up a bit. Probably a little bit heavy, but you know, I've got to do it so you can see it on YouTube as well, so that makes a difference. Sketch a few of these trees in, this little bush. I always sketch with watercolours. I like to leave the pencil work in. That road in there. I got lots of photos of this road. It was really sludgy where the trucks and cars had gone over it. So I was looking for one that you couldn't see too much of it. That's the sort of thing we're looking for. And then we've got this tree about there. All these lovely. Let's move it out of the way just a second. Lovely twigs and branches and things. So we'll take this out. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to take this out the top of the painting for a change. There we go. How's that? And then obviously we're going to do all of these bumps and things. And we're going to have this really long shadow. This tree down here. To make quite a dramatic painting, really. Something like that. So this is going to lead your eye into it quite nicely, I'm feeling. I've got a plan out how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do some graduated washes. Not tried a graduated wash before in Rebelle, so it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. That'll do. That's my sketch bit finished. Let's call that layer sketch. The next thing I want to do is lock that layer. Click on that little padlock and create a new layer. This is going to be my first graduated wash. So I'm using the mop brush. Default settings, apart from the size, square bracket to make it bigger. And we'll look at the source photo, and we've got this graduated wash coming in from the top left, and then we've got this lovely light area around the tree. Got to try and get that in. Oh, and I want to use the tilt tool with this. Oh, and also I want to work on a wet ground, so I'm going to wet the layer. And if I click on the little eye icon, you can see all the paper's now wet. It's got that blue colour to it. And that should stop us or prevent us getting too many hard edges. And put that in. I'm going to do, once I've done the sky, I'm going to do the foreground as well. But I'm going to reverse this tilt. Not got it tilted too much. You don't want to go pull it all the way down. You just get runs and things. It looks really messy. And then I'm going to go for a warmer, slightly warmer grayed off colour. Just add that over the top. Look. That's the sky pretty much done. So I dry the paper very quickly. Dry the paper. Done. Sky. New layer. Foreground. Oh, I've got to reverse that. Tilt that so that's pointing up. So it's like tilting your paper back so the paint runs the opposite way. Let's go back to my cobalt colour. Like there, I think. And start just whacking that in. It's got to come right up to there, look. Leave that right there. And then warmer grayed off colour, just to add a little bit of tone, depth to the tone. So I want this, is this going to be in shadow? Boom, done. I think that's it. I think that will do. I can dry that one off too. So that's the sky foreground done. So easy. I'm tempted to put the trees in next, and then so I'm sort of taking it slightly out of order, where normally you work from the lightest to the darkest. And so I would put the shadows in first, and then finally the dark trees would go in. But I'm kind of wanting to put them in first. If I look at the photo, if I just zoom in on the photo a bit, so you can see what we've got going off here. We've got this lighter colour behind the edge and the twigs and the things, and then this really dark colour. But I'm going to try and mix it up, make my painting a bit brighter. So okay, let's think what we're going to do. We're going to have a new layer so I can mess about and undo anything I don't particularly like. I want a rusty colour. This is like mixing burnt sienna and ultramarine blue together. Oh, that reminds me, Rebelle 5 is coming out soon, and they have announced that they have created a mixing system which is mixing real pigment. So, for example, you could mix burnt sienna and ultramarine blue together and get the right colours. That's going to be really interesting. And also got this new megapixel thing where you can zoom right in and see lots of detail. I don't know if that's going to sort of work out when you can print massive canvases and things, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to come up with. So I'm keeping my eye on that. Anyway, back to the painting. I'm thinking maybe a flat brush. Here I'm using the little water tool. You can see that top left, I'm pointing at it now, and I'm just going to wet in above this edge line because I want the paint to bleed into that. So I'm just going to get that all wet in. There we go. And then I can start the painting process. There we go. That's lovely. So now if I choose my brush, got that flat brush, got the red colour. I want it a bit more orange, I think. Do I want it a bit darker as well? Oh, I've got to change the opacity back. In fact, I've got a reset option here somewhere. There's changes. That's better. See how it's running in, look. So I'm going to get a sharp edge. And then where got the water. Is it going to run? Yeah, check it out. Got a bit too much there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the old thing. Start again. Got too much paint, and then notice how it doesn't start to run while I'm painting. It'll kind of wait until I've finished. There we go. Dry. Oh, I've wet it. Dry it. There. Cool. So that's sort of the underpainting. I want another layer. Every time I do this, I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to use that wet tool, painting some new water. Go back to the brush, go brighter. That does. Let that run into it as well. Try that. And I'm going to go one more, create another layer. Water. And then I'm going to, if I'm going to take the water right, I want this to run. Basically, I just want to drop a bit of a shadow in the bottom and let it run up. So I'm going to go back to that brush again. I'm going to choose an ultramarine blue. There, and just make the brush a bit smaller. Just drop that in the odd place. And then let that run. The nice thing about this, once you're happy with it, you can just hit that dry button. You get that lovely dry effect. You don't get that with real watercolor. It can keep going and going, and you get to the point where you think, oh, that's perfect, and then it just keeps going and you lose it, which is quite sad. So I've got this sort of distant edge going in there. That's quite nice. I'm liking this. Shall we start thinking about I need to put the tree in. I've got to do the darks before I can do. It just seems the right way around to do this. Need another layer. So I mean, I'm not one for lots of layers, but when I'm doing watercolor, I like to use lots of layers. You've got to. It is the nature of watercolor paint that you're working with layers all the time. I like this straight brush. Just move this out of the way there like that so you can see what I'm doing. I like that colour, that's perfect. Look at that. I'm just watching it and admiring it. I don't mean I'm admiring my painting, I mean admiring the way the water just sort of goes and does its own thing and flows away. I just love that. I wonder if I should go with a round brush, just because. Square bracket to let's just try that out. Adjusting pressure on that. Look how it's just, you put it on, it looks digital, and then you leave it a few seconds and it takes on that air of watercolor. Look at that. Love it. That's sort of the main branches in. Let's go with a I'm looking for a rigger. Not a rigger. I've got the liner. Maybe that's it. Maybe that'll do. I just want some nice thin twigs going in. That's it. I could add another wash, like wash over the top of that. Don't think I will for now. A bit bigger. The brush a little bit bigger. Add a few more branches. I felt there's a few too many gaps. That's it. That's looking a bit more like it. It looked a bit sort of like a fan, and I wanted some of these branches to sort of cross over and just sort of entwine with each other. That's probably enough. I don't want to overdo it. Now I can see where I'm going with this foreground, and I might, I could flick a few branches in there like that, couldn't we, for the edge? There we go. Right, I think I'm in for another layer now. 7. I could start blending some of these down, I suppose, merging them down. And I want this sort of same colour, but grey blue maybe. Yeah, maybe a bit lighter. Yeah. I want to put a shadow under there, so this is going to be a shadow layer actually. So I'm going to take that water again and paint. Oops, right the way across, like that. Get to my brush again. Go back to the flat brush. Brush to make it a bit bigger, and watch that run. Actually, I've got to change the flow back down to down. Is that going to smudge? It is here, look, it's working here. Maybe I've not quite gone up to it enough. There we go, that's it. That's giving this shadow under there. And I'm going to create another layer. Wet it again. I'm going to do what I did before. Go for a bit darker blue. Just pop the odd stroke in. Like that. Let that flow down too. Go back to the water. Oh, we've got plenty of water on there. Plenty. Dry it off. It's getting a bit unruly now, so I'm just going to merge these down. So layer. I don't want to merge all the physical layers. That's not what I want. Merge layer. Control E. So yeah, Control E. Just merge them down to that. I think that'll do. That'll do. Create a new layer. I'm just going to take the blending stump. Just try and blend the edge of that. Is that going to work? Maybe it's on that one. There. Ooh. What's on this layer, I wonder? Doesn't appear to be anything on there. Right, so I'm going to work on this layer. Layer 9. Paintbrush. Start getting this. So I'm now gone back to this building up lights to darks. So if we just zoom in the photo, you can see that the darkest darks are in these dips here. This is lighter. So I'm working my way up to the darkest darks. So that's too dark, I think. Let's just make it a bit lighter. Yeah, that'd probably be better. Maybe a bit more colour. Do we need a certain level of fuzziness? Should I be painting this wet in wet? But give us a fuzzy edge. Let's undo it. Just wet the paper. So if I wet this layer, look, I'll just show you. You can see the old paper's wet. And then try again. And that should bleed. And you get a fuzzy edge. But that's bleeding too much, right? So I'm going to add more paint and less water. Trial and error, you see. And then that gets us a nice fuzziness. So I can now let that bleed. But I think is it too dark? I don't know if it is actually. Sometimes you've got to be bold. A bit bigger. Take these out to the edge. Yeah, okay. Blended stump. Oh, blended stump. Just off a bit. Just at the ends. Just so we haven't got any sort of sharp edges at the ends. I want it to all just sort of blend away. Nothing. Like that. There we go. Same here as well, just get that out and blend that a little bit. Cool. Create a new layer. I want to put another, I want to get the mop again and add another one, probably the same colour. Oh no, it's a bit light. That colour. I'm using Control key to select that. Just sort of bring that in a bit. There we go. Yeah, that's working. That's working. Yeah. New layer. Tell you what, Control E. Let's just merge some of these down a bit. A new layer. And now I'm going to start painting these in. And I'm just thinking, I'm looking at them and thinking, how do they, where do we have hard edges? Where does it blend? If we look, we've got the hard edge at the bottom and then it blends at the top. So that's what we need to do. So now comes the fun part. I'm going to begin with a bit of pencil work, I think, just to, I've got this new layer going off, just to remind me of where I want to go with them. So shape like that, then a mound like that. Got one coming over here like that. And then softer ones. Sort of go that. Hope this is going to work. I might need to change the blending mode on this as well. We'll have to see. Then it kind of goes off like this, doesn't it? Little ruckles. Tiny little mounds. Mound there, and a mound there, and a mound there. There. Right the way up to here. Right, let's first of all, I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to use the I think I'll use a filbert dry, and I'm going to begin by just popping in some colour, and I want to change the blend mode first of all. That's interesting that it's running up there like that. That's too much. A lot too much. Let's just undo that. There we go. I think I do want it weighted so it runs down, not up. And then I want to change the blend mode. I want to go, I try and multiply. That's what I want. But I don't want it, now I don't want the colour quite as dark as that, I don't think. Do I? So I pop that in there. The idea is I'm going to use the blending stump to soften off the edges. So I'm looking at where they soften on the photo, and they soften at the top like that. So you get a sharp edge at the bottom, and then they blend away. Can I push it back that way a bit? To the brush. Try another one. We've got this nice sharp edge along the bottom here. I think I was a bit put too much paint on and not enough blending. Then just blend that a bit. Make it a bit smaller, I think. Like that. So getting these furrows in the snow, I think that's the right word. And blend. And what I've got to be careful is I don't have the same gap in between every furrow. We've got, you know, some where there's hardly any gap, and then some where there's lots. I think it's working. And we've got this bit here where we've got sort of like that. And then use my blending stuff again just to push the colour. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. And another. Yeah. And I might just use the opacity tool just to, you know, knock them back a bit. I don't know. I'll leave them like that for now. I've just got to sort of work away at this. Think about the shadows. A little bit there. Speed it up a bit. So. At this point, I'm making it up. Lost all hope of copying anything. I know what's going to happen here. When I move my bait to the grass, I bet I've missed. Oh no, not too bad. I thought I was going to say I've missed like lots and lots. Take the eraser and just chisel out a little bit of shape. Some of these. Like that. That's a little bit something to it, doesn't it? Very nice. Mustn't forget that they're going to get smaller as we get further away and less fuzzy, almost. take that eraser. Put a few sort of lines in there like that. Just sort of break it up a little bit. And see that little bit more snow effect. That's what I've been missing. That works. Yeah. Right, I'm going to speed this up because it's going to take me a while, I think, to get this all done. And I don't want the video to be too long, so I'll just speed it up for a little bit and then I'll be back shortly. Okay, that didn't take as long as I thought, but what I'm doing now, I'm just sort of painting in. I want to create a new layer actually. Just flicking in a few little bits of detail. I'm using the same brush, just made it a little bit smaller, and maybe I ought to go a little bit darker colour, a bit warmer perhaps. Just I don't know, maybe not. Just adds a bit of interest. I'm going to make this layer multiply as well. There. Get that blending stump again and just adds to those furrows a little bit. We've got some darker lights hitting it here. Some darker tones. Yeah, that's stump. Soften that off. I did like that a bit. Oh, that's cool. I can just sort of flick in a bit of detail. Back to the brush. I think we're nearly there with this foreground. Quite happy with that. You could go on forever, couldn't you? Really? Could lead you into the painting. Some flicks. pop a bit of dark in there. See why now, you know, I need to strengthen up. This this edge perhaps a little bit. A bit of shadow here. Let's go to the mop. Create a new layer because I could well want to rub this out. Multiply. Not too, a bit more to blue. Just flick in there like that. That's it. That has made such a difference. That one sweep. I'm going to come in and do it there as well. In the sky a bit. There. That, my friends, has made a huge difference. I'm thinking I now want to create another layer, and this time make it screen. If I make it screen and I put white in, oh, I don't want the mop. Let's try the filbert dry. I can just add a little bit of highlights in the snow. Let's zoom in a bit. Just where that sun is catching snow a bit. There. So at this point, I would say this is now mixed media because I'm using gouache. If you're doing this in watercolour, this would be, you'd be doing this with gouache. Just there, just tiny little flicks. We don't need a massive amount. Do I need this other tree in? Do I? I don't know as if I do. I might put it in. I might do that. There we go. What do you reckon? I got that. I struggled a little bit down here at one point, but I think we've salvaged it. We've got it back. I mean, we've got a classic tree on a golden mean. Do we need anything else? Maybe just pick that colour up on the tree and oops. I'm on, let's create another layer. That was on the lighten mode, not good. Alt key to pick the colour. I think I said control key earlier. It's the alt key. Let's get some water. Undo that. That's it. Some water. I just want to just strengthen up this shadow a bit. Back to my brush. And that way, oh, we need less water in there. I think that'll do. I'm getting really excited. I'm bouncing up and down in my chair here. Might just put this brush in, create another layer, then I can get rid of it if I don't like it. There's a brown colour. I don't like it there, that's for sure. A bit low. I want to keep that light snow. Maybe like that. That'll do. You know what? I think that's okay. I think I quite like that. And then I could just put in this other tree, maybe just a little tree. Bring this across a bit more. Take the eraser, soften up a bit. Yeah. I'm going to do a Control-E and all them together. So probably just lift out the path a bit. There. Okay, pick that colour up and just put a tiny little tree in. Yeah. More of a bush than a tree, perhaps. Actually, it needs to go more to the right, I think. Sort of about there. Just balances a little bit, I think. I don't want to go crazy and do a full-on tree. Whoops. That. How did I put that on there? Did I really do that? Eraser. Oh. Why did I do that? I wonder if I can undo it. I can. Yay. There. I'm looking at this now. It's a mess, isn't it? I'm changing my mind. I like the simplicity of this, but I might just. I like the idea of a second bush. Coming in there like that. Don't like the way those branches went. Almost just a sort of something like that. Just add something that's a bit of depth. Struggling with the branches though. Try again. I lost my layer then. Be careful, Steve. There. That'll do. I think that's it. Let's get it signed. A nice snow scene using graduated washes and lots of water to create this this effect. I hope you've liked this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always is much appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them all with you. So don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, keep painting, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.